Hello, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk about what is the biggest climate action. Now, of course, there are various climate actions that are being pushed around the world. There are actions under UNFCCC processes, and now there are actions that are taken by the governments. There are actions by individuals. Now, of course, there are individuals who are pushing for actions from billionaires who spend or whose carbon footprints are huge. But one of the most important climate actions that I sort of consider is influencing the elections around the world, and through that pushing positive environmentally friendly climate actions around the world. Now, why I'm talking about this at this point is also because the year 2024, this year, is going to be one of the year where more than half of the world's population is going to be in polls. So there are elections that are to be held in most part of the world in this year. Now, it's a very important opportunity for the global population internationally to bring about, to push for, to influence policies that are positive environmentally and also are part of the climate action. Now, if you look at a very small example of the ways in which how reduction of the deforestation in Amazon forest happened after the election after Lula assumed office was something very significant. Now, of course, we do have several such examples where countries have totally pushed environmentally friendly and positive climate actions, countries by themselves. So, this kind of actions are so important in terms of global uh, climate change and fighting the impacts of anthropogenic global example to show that how a particular political party or uh, leaders who assume their offices can make positive significant changes in terms of climate action and protecting the environment. Now, this news piece is from the Al Jazeera International, and this is from Brazil, which says that the Brazil's Amazon deforestation drops in Lula's first month in office. Now, this shows that the deforestation in Brazil's section of the Amazon rainforest dropped by 61% in January. Now, the first month in office for the left wing president Luis Inacio Lula da Silva, who was promised to relaunch environmental protection efforts. Now, this is basically to kind of show that how the former government in Brazil was not doing much to protect the Amazon rainforest, which is of course globally so significant in terms of not only for Brazil itself but also for fighting global climate change in terms of how Amazon forest is so important and significant. So this is the kind of change that positive political outcomes and the political leaders, political parties can make in terms of fighting against climate change and bringing about much more positive climate actions. This map is from the Time magazine. So here you see in most part of the world or in 64 countries, there are national elections which are scheduled or are expected, including most part of the European Union. So you see here in Russia, in most countries in Europe, you see in Pakistan, in India, in Islamic Republic of Iran, you see in Northern Africa, you see in parts of South Africa, and in the US, of course, and you see parts of South America as well as in Indonesia as well. So this are the red marks are the parts of the world which is more than half of the world is going to be polls or on to elections this year. Now, we are also going into elections in a significant time in history where the temperature has recorded the hottest ever since we started recording the temperatures, and of course since last year, and this year of course is going to mark uh, probably be the most hottest year ever recorded as 2024. Now, the kind of environmental catastrophe that we have had last year and the kind of environmental catastrophe that we have had in most part of the world, I have been speaking about this in most of my videos. So this is of course a big opportunity, whichever part of the world that you live, to vote for for political leaders and political parties who push for positive climate actions in the world and are also comparatively creative and positive about bringing positive climate action to prevent global warming and climate change. Now, the kind of countries are, of course, you have a list here. If you're interested, you can have a look at in India, in European Union, in the United States of America. Of course, what happens in the United States also has repercussion in most part of the world, not only environmentally but also politically. So, of course, if you live in the US, remember this, that your votes would not only decide your own destiny but also the destiny of most part of the world, not only politically but also environmentally. This is also true for, of course, most part of the world. Even the ways in which how Nepal as a country would want to govern Amazon, sorry, Himalayas is something so important for the planet. Similarly, like how Amazons are. So any of these countries, if you live, this is your opportunity to contribute towards positively to the global climate action in terms of pushing creative, positive, environmentally aware, climate change informed political parties and political leaders, and kind of agendas that are there. Any of these countries, of course, if you live, the list of the countries are so big, you can have a look at separately. So, of course, the ways in which how positive climate actions are possible by political parties, by political factions, by political leaders, this is also one of the significant opportunity for most of the world, or at least more than half of the world, to take part in positive actions against global warming and climate change at this very late hour, looking at the kind of agendas, looking at the kind of policies, also looking at the kind of histories that the political parties and the leaders that you have voted earlier, to also look at the kind of environmental as well as climate actions that they have in their own agendas in your own respective countries, is going to be so significant. So this is, of course, a kind of an appeal for you all to think about again and again, and then consider the kind of groups and the political parties and the leaders that you support in this coming election, and that is going to be very significant in terms of the destiny of the planet itself, whichever part of the world that you live in.